Hello and welcome to another Let's Play. Me, GamerWolfSix of Echo. Before we start, if you're interested in playing this game, you can get it for free on itch.io. But if you want to support the people that make this game and or get well, it's already been made, so you don't have to worry about that. But if you want to help them for making other games, then you can go to Patreon. It's $3 a month. Hyena. So, on the last Let's Play, we went to, I think, Peyton to get him a new look for his interview, which is today. And then we met this guy, Raven here, who's a cool husky, and he's going to help us on our project. Also, we had a nightmare which involved a clown and, I don't know, some kind of spider that dragged us in the basement. Who knows? Anyways, reset face. Show off my finger. Hang now, it was going to bother me. And reset face. And start. Hey, is this useful? I look over at Raven as he holds up what looks like a porcelain canine bowl of some kind. Maybe? Again, just set the stuff aside. Aside the stuff you think might be interesting enough for me to take pictures of. Okay. He puts it to the side and starts digging through the tub, rather carelessly again. I sigh and turn back to the binder. I really wish Carl had agreed to come down. Again, he declined to help me, even after Raven arrived. But now, I guess I have my answers as to why. More stuff is missing from the tubs, and I know it can't be anyone else except Carl. Well, though he does have an interview today, he could be, or hopefully trying to, make himself look nice and also study for it. Side note, I always hate, I hate interviews, but I always hate bad questions from interviews. I mean, they might be useful for them, but I always hate it myself. It's like, well, tell me what you know about their company. It's like, you're supposed to be telling me, would an interviewer be like, what do you know about me? You know? I mean, yeah, anyways. The containers returned the opposite way when I got down in the crawl space early this morning. So, is the ghost turning him around and around and around, or is it when we turn it one way, it turns it the other way? On top of that, there were two more loose wrappers in the tub, along with... I trace a paw up the torn edges of the missing page in the John Begay section. The question, of course, is why would he be doing this? There's absolutely no reason for it. And the bizarreness of the situation makes it pretty much impossible for me to confront him on it. It's his house, after all, though if he didn't want me to go through it, then why have shown it to me in the first place? And he isn't even trying to cover his tracks. In fact, I practically caught him in the act just a few nights ago. He must know how I'd be able to put that together pretty quick. I closed the binder, deciding that this will be the last time I'll be going through his stuff. If Carl doesn't want me digging up info on his family's history, then I'm not going to pry any further. Hey, look at this. Raven holds up a wooden train. I bet this was probably the shit back in the day. I sigh. Probably. He has good reception, just saying. Though I guess in the small town that I used to live in on the west side of Texas, they did have decent wireless. My phone buzzes. I take it out. My notifications tell me I have a text from Leo. Meet me at dinner for lunch. Just you. For a moment, I feel a pang guilt. He told me how excited he was to hang out with me this week. Yet I spent almost all my time here with Carl. Though, from what I've gathered in his texts, Leo's been spending most of his time with TJ and Jenna since the Lynx is apparently still filling down. Also, is this one of the few games in all furry visual novels where you get a close-up of your paw? You know, holding a phone or something? At least, he had that to keep him occupied. My excuse that Carl has all the info I need for my project made my decision to spend most of my time here a little less weird. What time And what do you mean by just me? Hey, Rave, I'm gonna go out and meet some friends. Could you keep Carl company? Okay, sure. Raven seems busy, pushing the train across the ground while attaching more cars. And make sure you keep that together. I want to get a picture of it later. Now, need to talk in privato. Privato. I sigh and put my phone away, patting my pocket for my keys, as I head up the crawlspace steps. Leo waves at me as I walk into the diner. I'm surprised to see that the diner is completely empty. There's almost always someone in here. Something else is amiss too, and I don't notice it until I've sat down across from the wolf. It's eerily quiet. The usual rockabilly tracks aren't playing from the jukebox. Hey man, what's up? The atmosphere is unreasonably awkward, and I blame most of that on the strange state of the diner. So apparently we have to go up to the counter to order. Janice isn't here. Oh, why is that? Leo shrugs as he sips on a milkshake. Dunno, sick I guess. It's then that I remember the story Flynn had told us about Janice and her incident. Although, I'm not going to bring that up because I'm sure that's what Leo's thinking as well. Well, I'm not really hungry anyway. That means it, what's it to you, what was it you want to talk about? Leo swallows slowly, ooh, then looks down at the table. So, you probably know this whole thing didn't go as I planned. I look at the collection of condensation? Condensation? Yeah, on his glass before I speak up. Yeah, sort of. Leo frowns, as if he'd hope I would have tried to deny it. Well, it's mostly my fault. I should have done a better job at resolving shit. Now I frown. Hey. I wait until he takes his eyes off the table to look at me. You know, you're not our big brother anymore. He looks back down at the table. We're adults, believe it or not. We make our own decisions now. Everything we're doing right now is our decision. Our fault, not yours. Leo's eyes get shiny, but he smiles. Yeah, you're right. I guess I just want to go back, is all. It do be like that. Hey, we're still young. You're talking like my grandpa. God. Leo laughs and leans back. Mine too. Leo jerks his head, as if he remembered something. So, what the hell happened between Jenna and Carl? I was actually hoping you would have told me that. I have no idea. She keeps going on about him not participating. I told her it was fine, but she can't seem to let it go. Like, I like Jenna. I much prefer Cynthia, her like great-great-grandmother or something like that. But it's like, yeah, we're supposed to find Carl and stuff like that, yet me and Jenna banged. What's up with that, man? Yeah, well, it's really weighing on Carl, I think. Leo swigs his milkshake, forgetting the straw. He wipes away the cream from his muzzle, ooh, as he brings it back down the table with some resolve. Well, I'm not letting it end like this. What? Let what end like this? Our group. You realize this might be the last time we're all together? That sentence immediately forms a lump in my throat. Yeah. So, I'm not gonna end like this. Flint's pissed at TJ. Jenna's pissed at Carl. You and me? He lets that hang, and when I don't see anything, he coughs. So, I planned something. What? His hesitant tone is making me nervous. He looks at me in the eyes and squares his shoulders. We're going to the lake tomorrow. It kind of... God, this just makes me feel kind of bad because, like, I remember my friends group. Like, we have a tight-knit group, but it's like, we used to be on Discord every night, and now it's like, maybe once a week, and it's just like, And then it's like, I remember it being a lot bigger, like, I'm not good with large groups because I'm like, who the fuck are all these people? I can't remember, but I still remember a couple of them, and it's kind of weird that it's like, oh, that's completely disappeared, you know? He lets that sink in, ooh, as I turn his words over my head. I had suspected that this is what he was getting at. I consider my words for a moment, not when to say the wrong thing. I don't know if that's... Leo puts up a paw. I've thought this over real hard, Chase. That day, what happened to Sydney, it fucked us all up, changed us all. Not for the better either. It took something from us. Leo pauses, looking to the side as if searching for words. Flynn, Sydney was his best friend. And Carl has been depressed ever since. Oh, so TJ, I feel the need to speak up. I don't know if you can pin that all on what happened. Maybe we would have turned out the same? He presses on. TJ, he saw Sydney die. Saw him drown. Can you imagine that at 8 years old? And Jenna, has she ever been happy since? I don't think she was happy before, just saying. I shake my head. I always felt that experience helped her. In a weird way, she decided to go to school, leave Echo. He doesn't seem to be listening to me. And you? I love you, but you did change the day it happened. You're practically a different person. But we started dating after that happened. I don't know, man. I don't have anything to say to that. And me, his voice catches in the throat, and I close my eyes. Leo, I was supposed to be watching all of you. I was supposed to take care of... Leo stops talking, and I keep my eyes on the table, while he grabs one of the brown napkins and wipes his eyes. When he speaks up again, his voice is thick and cracks with emotion. His parents never said, but they trust me with Sydney, and I think they blamed me. No, Leo. He falls silent. For a while, the both of us sit there and share the feeling of being weighed down by 11 years of baggage. A good 5 minutes go by. Leo staring out the window. The afternoon sun turns its normally red fur almost orange. We can't do this anymore, and this might be our last chance to find some kind of closure. I take a deep breath, swallowing past the lump. Ooh. Okay. He looks up at me, relief all over his face. So, you'll go? I smile reassuringly at him. Of course. Have you told anyone else? He lowers his ears. No. God. Are you gonna tell them? I don't know. Leo. Again, this is tomorrow. He does his signature shrug, paws out. I really don't know how else to get them to go. And there's no way this is gonna be a disaster. Isn't gonna be a disaster. Hey, we gotta try. Yes. So, can you bring Carl with you? I think for a moment. Oh shit, Carl has an interview. What time? At 10, I think. Well, we'll plan around it. Next time, text me the actual time, okay? I thought it was today. It was probably not before 10, right? And we're probably, not before 10. Anyway, I invited you here to talk more about more than shitty stuff. What have you been up to the past 3 years? And we talked for the next 2 hours, catching up on everything. It feels good, and I regret not spending more time with Leo this past week. As we part in the small parking lot, Leo surprised me with a hug. I have a good feeling about this. It'll be hard, but we'll be better for it. I hug back, hoping with all my heart that he's right. You do remember that at the beginning of this episode, one day ended. The fuck? I mean, I'm not complaining, but it's like, after going through Leo's thing where like a single day could take so many episodes, having one that takes less than half an episode is like, Jesus. Slow down, game. You're not paying me to do this. Dudes, I don't know about this. I'm peeking in the bathroom, watching as Carl stares at himself in the mirror, running his fingers through his hair. You look great. Raven stands back, grinning with the trimmer in his paws, looking Carl up and down. Tell him, Chase. Carl looks at me, and I have to agree, it looks quite a bit better. Look fantastic. A lot cleaner. Thanks. Now, take a shower. Before Carl can say anything, Raven shoves the mall bag into Carl's chest before slamming the door on his face. Man, this is gonna be great. If the interview was based on looks alone, he'd have that job locked. Yeah, probably. God, I wish I could do that. I did secure a job, but it's shitty apparently. And I'm like, might pass. And so with that, we move into the living room and wait. Half an hour later, Carl shuffles in quietly. We don't even know he's there until he clears his throat. Ah, man, look at that. It's like, he looks good. So, how's it look? It looks good, but I'm more convinced with the fact that he looks more insecure than I've seen him. He shifts from hoof to hoof, not making eye contact at all, his fingers pulling at the rolled-up sleeves. Oh my god, that looks fantastic. There's no way you won't get that job now. Raven sounds genuine though, but then again, he's always excited. Carl looks over at me, and I give a start, realizing how bad my silence must have seemed. You do look great, Carl. But, Raven chuckles as Carl's eyes widen. What? The beanie. Do you always wear that thing? Carl lifts a paw to it. Usually. You can't wear that. How'd you even get it on? It's stretchy, and my head fur looks awful. Seriously, you can't wear a beanie in an interview. Carl's getting all fidgety again, so I butt in. Don't wear it. Carl, that's a really bad idea for a job interview. Oh, come on. He looks sad and angry at the same time, which gives me pause. I'll wear it if I want. This is my interview. After a couple of seconds of silence, Raven coughs. Raven looks at me, then back to Carl. Well, alright. Carl sighs and shifts around again. You watch him expectantly. Dudes, this just feels weird is all. It's new. You'll get used to it. I pull out my phone and look at the time. Alright, we really need to head out. We should get there early. As I head to the door, Raven makes as if to follow us. I kick myself for forgetting to talk to him earlier. I turn around to face him as Carl heads out the door. Hey, Raven? He stops. What's up? So, after the interview, me and Carl and our other friends are going to be doing something. Raven raises his brows. Oh? Oh, it's not that I don't want you to come. Though, I really wouldn't mind having his upbeat attitude present at what will surely be the biggest downer of the week. It's just that it's really personal. Oh, really? Yeah, seriously, you wouldn't want to come. We're going to be talking about some heavy shit. Raven seems to perk up a little at that. Oh, well, I wouldn't want to intrude. I'll just hang out here then. Yeah, we'll be back soon, okay? Sounds good. But you have to tell me how the interview goes. I know he's gonna do amazing. I will, and he will. See you in a few. Carl looks confused as I come out to the car alone. Where's Raven? I sit down and make a show of buckling my seatbelt. So, I wouldn't tell you that after this interview, so you didn't have more stress out over. What? I pause as I back out, pretend to be distracted so I can gather my thoughts. So, Leo wants to meet up at the lake. The lake? The lake? Well, there's only one lake here. Yeah. Why? Closure, he says. Carl stays quiet as we drive through Echo, and I swerve to avoid all the potholes. As I'm merging onto the highway, he finally speaks up. I think that's a good idea. Like, we've been sitting on this for how long? We should do it while we got the chance. I nod in my agreement. Just hope everyone else feels the same. We fall back in silence, and says that for the remaining 20-minute drive. Carl gets more nervous the closer we get. I can see his knees bouncing off the corner of my eye as he stares out the window. Reach out, put a paw on his shoulder as we pull into the parking lot of the print shop. You look awesome, and you're gonna do amazing. Carl starts taking deep breaths, staring at the windshield. Just be yourself. Everyone loves a relaxed employee. I don't know. Usually when I think of employers looking for employees, they don't want ones that are relaxed. I wish you'd let me have a smoke before we left. Yeah, going in an interview, smelling my pot. Great idea. Carl giggles nervously, but otherwise doesn't move. Do you want me to go in with you? Carl shakes his head quickly, unbuckling his seatbelt as he opens the car door. No, man, I'll be fine. Okay, cool. I'll be waiting. I grin at him as he shuts the door and ambles into the print shop. He pushes the doors, and when they don't move, he pushes harder, shaking the glass. I start to open my door to tell him to pull instead, but he seems to figure it out before I have to and disappears inside. Oh, Carl. Then I sit back and wait. I try to take a nap since I've been up all night with Raven and Carl gaming, but the heat beating down through the windows becomes too uncomfortable. I turn the AC on, then shuffle through the stations, but I only find Tangy Country and Mariachi. Is that how you spell mariachi? I mean, that's a word. I look at the time. 10:10 a.m. If the interview started on time, then he was probably almost done with it by now. That would be a quick interview. I sort of want to go inside, but I know Carl wouldn't want me to. I settle back again and close my eyes, trying to get some relief from the failing AC. When the door rattles, I hear haphazard hoofsteps. I open my eyes, but no one's there. I do catch some movement disappearing around the side of the store, and I lean around to get a better look. I wait, but Carl, at least I think it's Carl, doesn't come back from around the corner. Looking around, I slowly open the door. Carl? Nothing. Carl! I yell it, but he doesn't seem to come out. Feeling some dread building up in my stomach, I get out of the car and slowly walk around the side of the building. It's an alley between the print shop and what I think is a laundromat. Nothing's in the alley except for a few dumpsters and clumps of garbage. I step carefully around the puddles covered in oil slick and wonder if maybe he'd really wanted to smoke. Carl? Something shifts on the other side of the dumpsters, and I hear sniffing. Wordlessly, I walk around the dumpster to the other side. Carl's bent over, his back to me, paws on his knees. His whole body is shaking, and his breasts are ragged. Holy shit, Carl. I'm at his side instantly, rubbing his back. What happened? Are you alright? The stench of vomit hits my nose, and I don't need to look closely to know the puddle between his hooves is. Carl makes sure to turn his face away from me, not saying a word. Shit. I wonder if, picking his beanie might be the thing. Let's just maybe look at his roots. I would want him to do it right. How do you spell beanie? Well, it doesn't say anything in Carl's route, so I guess no matter what it comes, he fails, but we'll see. I dash back to the car and open the passenger door so I can get to the glove box. It would be kind of funny if it's like he got the job, but also he's like, I gotta go. I pull out a few napkins before hurrying back to the ram. He takes them from me wordlessly and starts wiping his face. Last time I'd seen Carl like this was just the last year, when he had his panic attack at school. I didn't think he'd have that problem now, after all the therapy and time away. I tried to rub his back coveringly in a clockwise motion, like my mom used to do for me. He's at least not hyperventilating. He has his horns pressed up against the wall, taking deep breaths as he wipes his face again. Why do I suck at everything? He says it quietly between gasps, but I can make it out. No, Carl, you're fine. Let's just get you home. I started to pull on his arm, but he yanks it away from me violently. Don't touch me. I'm stunned in silence. I just stare at him with my mouth open. He glances at me, and his eyes are red, and for once, it's not because of the weed. Carl starts off down toward the car on his own, splitting off to the sides as he does. Carl, what happened? He rolls on me. I fucked up. Obviously. Any more fucking questions? His voice breaks apart in the last sentence, and he turns away from me as his face starts to screw up. My stomach feels hollow as I watch Carl get in my car. I've never, ever seen him like this. He immediately hunches forward, and his paws. I slowly walk up to the driver's side door, feeling like crying myself. I sit for a while, waiting to see if Carl is going to say anything. He does. I'm sorry. He blurts it out through his fingers. I look over at him, scared to say anything in case I say something wrong. The wrong thing. It was a disaster, man. He takes in a deep, shuddering breath. He could tell I wasn't into it right away. I was awkward as fuck. I mean, just do be like that sometimes. He leans back and tugs at his shirt. The shit isn't me. They knew it, and it got me nervous. I've been nervous ever since I got my clothes, since I got this stupid trim. At that moment, it feels as if I've been punched in the stomach. I'm just now remembering the conversation we had on Wednesday. Which one? Closed my eyes for a moment, not wanting to believe I'd become exactly what I said I wasn't. What he liked me for not being. We sit in silence for a long, long time until Carl finally looks at me and smiles. God damn it. We both knew this was gonna happen, didn't we? I don't know, man. And fuck me very much for taking it out on you. It's sort of my fault. No, I'm the one that screwed up the interview. Carl sits back in the seat. Now, with that fuck up out of the way, on to the next one. I force a smile. You sure you want to go? Hell no. But I don't think I have much of a choice. I sigh, looking out of the hazy horizon, in the direction where Echo is. Can't wait. So, with that in turn, I turn the ignition and pull into the parking lot, leaving the print shop and its alley far behind us. And with that, I think it's a good time to save. Hey, we did like a day and a half. Though... yeah, I'm just looking at Carl's route, just keeping my eye above the thing. Okay, it just says, on Saturday as a job interview, and Carl Sandy gets the better of him. It doesn't seem to have, like, any particular thing. But so far, you know, I know these are day things, but it's like, looking at Carl's route, we're like 1.5 paragraphs out of 5. So yeah, I guess it's like, yeah, all this stuff is built up until the horribleness of Echo, which will be horrible of all this horribleness. So that's going to be the end of this Let's Play. So comment, guys, I like comments, some you like, dislike, tips, tricks, otherwise. If you like my YouTube and like see grow, then please like, subscribe, and check out other videos to help it grow. And please remember to your animals have control of the pit population. And if you want to play this game, it's available on itch.io for free. But if you want to support people to make this game and get the news version earlier, then you can go to the Patreon. Sorry, I pressed that button. This game is already out, but if you want to get earlier versions of other games, Patreon, $3 a month. And until next time, it's me, GamerWolfSix, of Echo. So thanks and see ya.